So it's that time again. It's been 3 years, 80,000 miles. I'll redo these timing chains, see how bad they looked. I actually got the code pop up like 2 weeks ago, and I like getting it done right away just so these chains don't snap. But I mean, in 3 years, 80,000 miles, I have not touched this engine since the last time we did the chains. I've done tires, brakes, did struts front and back, but haven't had to touch the engine. So despite the shitty 3.6 needing chains all the time, it's honestly been a very reliable motor. It currently has 225,000 on it. So this guy's been a great runner. I'm gonna do the chains again, and hopefully I'll see you guys in another 70,000 miles when it's time for the next set. I cut it out a little early, but I'm not gonna film taking any of this stuff apart. If you guys wanna see that, if you look, check out my channel here, and you can look at my other videos. I have part 1 and part 2 from 3 years ago, and I actually show every single nut, bolt, and screw you gotta take out, where they are, what size they are. So if you're looking for a more in-depth tutorial, go check out my 3-year-old video. Alrighty, so about an hour and a half into it. I got the valve covers off, we got the intake off, got the lower intake off, got all the bullshit out. I got the alternator out, the bracket for the alternator out, radiator hose, radiator fan. I took the water pump pulley off. I'm not gonna actually take the water pump out because I did the water pump last time. This guy right here where the alternator is and the bracket is definitely the biggest pain in the ass on this job. I cracked the crank bolt loose. I just use my good old Milwaukee Impact to take that out. I got a pulley puller or harmonic balancer puller to pull that off. Other than that, we loosen up the power steering here, set that aside. My next job is going to be tackling the power steering pump and the AC compressor. I don't think I have to take the AC compressor off. I'm like a little rusty. I haven't watched any of the videos. I've done it before, so I'm just going to rip into this motherfucker and I'll start questioning things if I get stuck. But so far everything's gone pretty smooth. As you can see, that driver's side head is very clean. That passenger side head is black. This was the chain that went bad last time. That one was good. I was only throwing the codes for this head. Same thing this time. 70K miles later, that one still good. Bottom one still good. This one, you can kind of see, it's just really, really dark. There's a lot of carbon buildup on everything. I actually even, prior to starting it, hoping to have a little better inside, I use this Liquid Moly Pro Line engine flush. Basically pour it in the oil, leave it running for 10 to 15 minutes depending on how bad it is. I left it for 15 minutes. Honestly, didn't do a whole lot of good. As you can see, like the runners in the intakes are still super carbon buildup, and same thing down in here. Here, hold on, I'm gonna put on the camera, I'm gonna put on the flash for you. But you can see, they're very dirty intake runners. Not like awful, but definitely not great. So we're gonna get all that taken care of and then keep moving from there. Alrighty, so back, got everything torn up, got the timing chains off. As you see, I got the angled lock on the passenger side head. Got the straight up and down lock on the driver's side head. That means the engine is in stage 1 timing. I remove everything in stage 1. I don't do the whole rotate to stage 2. I did this the same way last time. It worked good, so we're going with it. So just for reference though, you can see got a timing mark right there. Got a timing mark right there on this head. On this head, we got a timing mark right there. And the other one's kind of hidden, but we got a timing mark right there at the top I drew. Now with this one, it's a little more difficult, but you can kind of see the dot right there correlating with the dot right there. So that dot and that dot. And a little better showing here. But this dot on the oil pump right there is lining up with that dot down there. So all the time marks look good. I'm going to basically clean all this shit off the best I can. We're gonna remove them gears, and then we'll start putting everything back together. So it's actually a much easier job the second time around. I think I'm about 2.5 hours into this job. Last time, I think it was about 10 to 12 hours. So I feel like this is about a 5-hour job once you kind of know what you're doing in here. So I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna clean everything. As you can see, I actually got the shop to myself today. We are not open on Sundays, so I figured it would be the perfect day to come in and do it. But clean the living crap out of the inside of this timing cover, and clean the outside the best I could. Try to make it look as nice as possible before going in. I know I'm gonna be replacing these tube seals. I think last time I put these ones in backwards, not those ones, or vice versa. I'm pretty sure these ones were leaking, so I think I put those in backwards last time. So when I get them out, I'm gonna pay a little bit better attention and try to see if I can figure out what I have done wrong on the one side, because they look identical on both sides. So we'll figure that out, and I'll let you know. All right, so clean some more stuff up. As you can see, we threw a new oil pump on. There's 3 bolts. There's one here, there's one here, and there's one there. It actually has the new timing bracket on it. Here's my nasty old oil pump. 17 foot-pounds for the bolts. Everything's pretty simple and easy to change on that one. A lot of people online say to pack it with grease. It's a really stupid idea, because then you're gonna get grease all through your lifters and shit, and you're probably gonna clog those. So what I do is, on here, I'm just gonna fill oil, and I spin it. You can feel it spins way smoother. And then obviously we're gonna crank it with no plugs and stuff in it to build up oil pressure before we start the car for good. But I'm gonna put the timing chains on now. I'll pause you for that. I don't think you need to see me again. I have a video really detailing how to do this. So any questions on how to do it, refer, if you look, it's from 3 years ago. I do a real in-depth video on this. So I'm gonna put the chain on bank 1, and then I'll be back. We'll put bank 2 on, and then we'll put the center on, and then we'll put bank 2 on. But other than that, pretty smooth job. It's not too intimidating. It looks a lot scarier when you're starting this than it really is. It's not a horrible job. I know a lot of people want to see stretch, so I'll hold the chains on here, and you can actually see if or how much they did stretch. So this first chain on the end, that's gonna be the driver's side bank, and then the chain I put on the end here will be the driver's, or the passenger side bank, which was the one throwing the codes. So we'll see. Holding them both together, not really much of a difference. Again, my codes just started. You can slightly see a difference on the outside. The one on this side right here, it's a little longer, but not bad. It's not like a terrible noticeable difference, but either way, I got a bunch of these chains now, so yeehaw. I'm gonna have to learn how to build like a bicycle with these chains, because I'm starting a collection with this 3.6 Cadillac here. First step is installing these guys right here. They're gonna be at 43 foot-pounds a piece, so I'll torque both of those, and then we'll start with the right bank chains there. All right, so 1 mark lined up. Sorry for that. 2 marks lined up. Down here, you see we got the gold link right there, kind of hard to tell. The rest of the links are black. That link is gold. Now I can put in the tensioner here, tension that one, and then we'll move on to the middle one. I do have to tension all of those to 18 foot-pounds. I'll actually do that right now. I'm gonna pause you. So we got 1, 2, 3 bolts right there. We're gonna tension all of them to 18 foot-pounds, and then I'll put the tensioner also. 2 bolts for that are 18, and then I'll be right back. All right, everything, make sure the camera's on. Everything's on, all the brackets and everything. or slides, whatever you want to call them. We got timing mark A, timing mark B. Over there, we got our oil pump. Everything's torqued, so boop, can exert tension. Everything looks good. Now I'm gonna move on to this center section, and I'll get that chain on. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. Again, check my other video if you want to know exactly how to install it. But I'm gonna put that chain on, and then I'll be right back. So, as you can see, we got our gold link here. We got our gold link over here, and down here, we're right on our oil pump gear. So now I'm gonna put on a little tensioner bracket, and then we'll put on the actual tensioner itself, and then we'll move on to the third and final chain. Again, this stuff is way more intimidating than it looks like. I'm telling you, it's not that bad of a job. As you can see, the old one here, definitely we're riding a little bit more on the center chain than any of the others. You can actually see a little grooving in there. So nice to get all that replaced. Got brand new ones here in our Cloys kit. So I'm gonna put on this guy, and then we'll do the tensioner second. So I'll be right back. One last double check. Timing mark, and timing mark. Everything's torqued. Whoomp. And that appears to be good. All right, so now on to the third chain. Woohoo. So I'm gonna put this chain on, I'll be right back. And then pretty much job's done. It's just gonna be reverse everything, so be right back. So we got all the chains on. Got a little looseness on this one. It seemed like I did last time too, but let's see. Starting on the passenger or driver side head, timing mark 1, timing mark 2. Got our gold chain right there. Middle chain, we got timing mark 1, timing mark 2 on the oil pump. Timing mark 3 is so hard to see, but gold link right there. Going on to this head, we got the right head, so the R and the little triangle. Second one, we've got, super hard to see, but there is an R there, and then a little triangle. And then down here, we're matched up with that hole. I already pulled the pin on that one, so I'm just gonna rotate it by hand. I'd say about 5-10 times. Make sure I don't feel any like contact with valves or anything. But with the plates, you really can't mess this up. So I'm gonna spin it over a few times, and then the fun of cleaning everything else and reassembly. So thanks for joining. We still got more to go. I don't know why I'm doing like the little piece out there, but yeah, for anyone interested, here's the Cloys kit, 9-0753SX. I did Cloys. Cloys is just a better name brand than the AC Delco, or like, I don't even know what else Rock Auto had, Ultra Power and fucking some other BS brands. So Cloys was like the best notable brand, so I went with them. But I'm gonna clean up. I already did the timing cover I showed you, but I'm gonna clean the crap out of these valve covers, get them all nice. I'm waiting for valve cover gaskets. I'll get those tomorrow. We're gonna put the timing cover gaskets in, and then hopefully we'll put some shit back together today. Doing the timing cover, this is an optional step, but I use the black RTV for the timing cover. In the middle, I actually use the gray water RTV just because it's surrounding the water pump. It's still oil safe, so up here where it's oil, not gonna make any big difference, but in case anything starts leaking over here, at least it's gonna seal the water. So that's an optional step. If you wanna buy 2 RTVs, it's up to you. But I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and then I'm gonna go install this timing cover. And I don't know, I might call it a night after that. I don't really know. I watched the Dolphins game today, so I got a really late start, but I mean, we made pretty good progress. If I can get the timing cover on, maybe the crank pulley, a couple other things. leave it to where I only have to do the valve covers and the intake tomorrow when I can get them at work. Today we're closed, so I get like, I don't know, I think I get like a 10% discount from my job, but if I order them tomorrow, I can get them at our shop cost, which is gonna be considerably cheaper. So, probably gonna call it a night. I got plenty of time left, but I do want to save like the 50, 60 bucks on the intake and valve cover gaskets. This is a pretty pricey job even when you're doing it yourself. I would say with all the gaskets, the timing chains, everything else, to do it yourself, you're like $800 to $1,000 into this job. So honestly, if you go and you get it done somewhere else, you're looking at quite a few thousand. So it is definitely cheaper to do it yourself, but it is by no means a cheap job to do. So I'll be back, I'll smoke my cigarette. I got my valve covers over here, soaking in degreaser, and then we'll go from there. All right, stage 1 timing, mark. Down here, gold chain. So that guy is totally done. Now I'm gonna do the center, and then we'll rotate it to stage 2. Alrighty, so finished with stage 1 timing here. For anyone interested in knowing, I actually did it all the Melling way in stage 1, and bank 2 here was off like half a tooth. I rotated it half a tooth. I thought it was the right way. I still got the codes, so I took everything back apart next day here, and we're doing everything the actual GM way this time, because the way they have it designed, putting it in stage 2, taking this chain off, then rolling it to stage 1 and doing these 2 chains will correct any like off links that it was. I think I was about 1 tooth total off. So this is just a better way to reset everything to exactly how it's supposed to be from the factory. But so here we go. We got timing mark 1, we got timing mark 2. Down here we see our gold link in there. You can kind of see the regular link color. That one's the gold link down there. Then for our center chain, we got first mark right there. Second mark is down there. You see the dot, I put a little paint dots on so you make it see it a little better. And then our third mark is right here. So I'm gonna pull this one. And then we will head on to this one next. All right, so I've rotated it. So hard to see this shit. Where's that white dot? Right up there. So I gotta rotate it a little bit more. Fucking shit, dude. What a fucking hunk of shit. I'd like to say that's pretty fucking close right there. Alright, stage 2 timing. First mark, right there. The second mark is right there. Last one should be on the circle right there. Right, absolutely perfect. Yep, everything looks good. Booyah. Alright, everything looks good, man. So now we're in stage 2, so these marks have moved slightly, but we still are on both of them gears. Down here, you can still see our golden circle. right here, these ones, we're still on that one. Down here, we're now at stage 2, which is right there. And it's hard to see what it's like right in there somewhere. I can't really see it. It's so stupid. But then we got this one down there. We got that chain right there on time, and on time. So everything is on time. The GM way this time. So hopefully, no fucking codes. We got about 3 hours of putting shit back together. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this will get rid of the slop from the stretch, because like I said, I did the whole job in the stage 1 melling way, and then when I got to this bank, it was about half a tooth off. I rolled it, and it still threw the codes. So I did it this way just because it locks everything into stage 2, and then it locks it in stage 1, so everything should line up exactly perfect again. See, little plates come right off. But so instead of using the angled plate, I use this plate on the passenger side to get it into stage 2 timing. Then I removed the passenger side chain. Then I rolled the motor back like a third of a turn there to stage 1 timing. When I got to stage 1 timing, I threw the other one of these, which is identical. I don't know where I set it. I would show it to you. It actually doesn't have a slot right here, but I don't know where the fuck I put it. I'm a little slow. Oh, it's sitting like on the fucking cowl. All right, so then I put this plate into the driver's side head there for stage 1 to lock it. Remove the second one, and then the driver's side chain. After removing the driver's side chain, with the locks still in place on both sides, I installed the driver chain, then I installed the lower chain, then I rolled it like a third of a turn over to stage 2 timing, and then I installed this one. Obviously, before I rolled it to stage 2 timing, I took the one plate off the driver head. I left the passenger one on, and you saw me just remove it when I completed installing the chain on the passenger side. So you don't have to use the locks. The cams are supposed to be in resting positions in stage 2 on the passenger side and stage 1 on the driver's side. So it's not really necessary to use the plates. I use them just for peace of mind because I knew my chains were pretty badly stretched. So I just wanted to make sure everything was up to spec as much as possible. So now I'm gonna rotate the engine over like 15, 20 times. Obviously our timing marks will never line up again with the links, but we can put it into stage 1 timing, assure the cam gears are in the correct orientation, the oil pump is in the correct orientation, move to stage 2, we could check there for shits and giggles if we wanted to. But essentially, the timing marks on the actual cam gears and the crank sprocket will line up at stage 1 and stage 2. Just none of the colored links, just because of the amount of chain links. There's no way we're gonna get those to line back up. But I'm gonna call it a night here. I've torn this thing apart 3 times this week. Well, twice. And I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna call it a night. After I rotate it, of course. And then I'm gonna come back tomorrow, throw this bitch back together, and give you guys an update. Hopefully we'll be cruising nice. I still need to fix wheel bearing in the back and get my service brake assist because my rear wheel bearing and speed sensor is bad. But no check engine light. She's driving good. Second time was the charm, man. Car's driving great. No check engine for the timing. Yeah. So I figured I'd throw this at the end of the video, but it's not just the CTS. I'm right back at this job again, this time on a Cadillac SRX, also 3.6, because fucking 3.6 timing is shitty as fuck. But doing this one just the good old, I don't know, the non-melling way. I'm just using it all in stage 2, so I don't know, I'm just gonna take everything out, voila, new chains, and we'll be at it. Procedure on the SRX. On this is a 08, which it's rear wheel drive, and surprisingly, motor faces forward. I know on like the Equinox and stuff, the timing chains are right down here on the frame rail. So This SRX is quite a bit easier to get them done on than anything other than the CTS. I'd say level of difficulty about the same on the CTS, except I did not have to remove the radiator fan on the SRX. I actually have a little bit more room here, so nothing had to be removed, just all the coolant and stuff drained. So procedure pretty much identical if you have an SRX. I will also link that in the video. As you see towards the end, it also works on this motor. So I don't know, I'm not gonna really record this one because this is like my third 3/6 timing video going up, so don't really see the need. You can watch my other videos, I'll link them in the description, but very common job. Fuck Cadillac. Look at that, baby, no shake. Motherfucker runs like a brand new engine again. Look at it. No shake whatsoever. Like the fucking crank was like 2 teeth off when I did each side individually. It was so stretched you couldn't use the little locks. I had to do each chain individually, but runs like a dream now.